Iffy, it's always nice to see you and have some discussions about some of the history the rich history that you have, obviously. Your representative career in green and gold started really as a teenager, wasn't it? And then by the time you got to the age of 20, you were in the national colours.
Yeah, so as a 20-year-old, I won the Australian road title in Geelong, and I was a Gippsland boy back in those days. And it was really something out of the blue. No one really expected it. I thought I could do it, but no one else did. And it was my first time even representing the state. So I got selected to go to the Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh. And I can remember the whole town, Morwell and Latrobe Valley, being excited that I was actually going overseas, because back then young Victorians didn't travel much. So
they all come out to wave you goodbye.
And look, it was a bit of that, and parade down the street and all of that, and it was wonderful. And to arrive in Edinburgh, I can remember being excited to see Cozalive. All of those things were different. Very tough circuit in Edinburgh around Arthur's Seat. It was a 5K circuit with a 1.5K climb, so we had to climb it about 20 times, and I managed to get a bronze medal there.
Now I'll stop you just in Edinburgh for a moment, because a mate of yours, you had the Queen arrive, is that right, in Edinburgh?
Well, it was actually the Duke.
The Duke?
Yes, the Duke arrived to do the actual opening of the village. So this is like a couple of weeks before the games, and so all the official stuff's going on, and one of our team, who will remain nameless, but his initials are Doug Armstrong, snuck
under the bus.
Snuck up to the back of the Royal Rolls Royce that was there and stole the number plate, RR1, off the back of the car.
So the Royal Rolls Royce with the Duke pulls up at the Olympic or the Commonwealth Games village, and your mate slides around with a screwdriver.
Because everyone's looking forward, the car's at the back, the Duke's up there doing the opening, he snuck up, and to my knowledge, he still has that number plate.
Different days. Okay, so Commonwealth Games, you go there, you get yourself a medal, then the launch pad out to the Olympics. Yeah,
so there's 72, I made the Olympic team, and it was probably the most successful Australian Olympic team, as it turns out, until just recently. Clyde Sefton got the silver medal in the road race, which I was there for. But yes, but it was we raced the team time trial in the first week, and then we went to bed, expecting to wake up in the morning and race in the road race. But that was the night of the terrible terrorist attack, when the I forget the name of the whackers that did it, but stormed into the Israeli rooms, which were right near us. So it was the Aussie rooms, somewhere in between it and the Israeli rooms, and took the hostages. And we got woken up by our manager to say, there's been a terrorist attack and everything's on hold. And I remember thinking, what do you mean? The word
would have been a new word.
Well, it just hadn't happened. Not just in sport, it just didn't happen in the world. And so working out what he was talking about. So then, it was right near us, so we watched it all unfold over the next day plus, and it was just an absolute tragedy. Very badly handled by everybody, by the Germans and everyone. And we watched the terrorists with the hostages get into the choppers. We saw it all. It was quite horrific.
So you're in the Olympic Village. It's happening right around you. There's no Twitter, there's no mobile phones, there's nothing like that. How do you gather your information about what's going on? What's going on with the games? What's going on with the village?
A bit of on TV. Matter of fact, it was the television that caused a problem with the police tried to storm the
special operations room.
Well, as good as what they had back then. They weren't like the German efficiency we have now. And they were climbing up the side, but someone was filming that, so the terrorists were watching them climbing up, so they had to call that off. It was badly handled all the way through. Just an absolute muck up and just a terrible moment.
And in between all of this, you're waiting for the lovely Kay at home to give you the news that you're about to be a dad.
Exactly. My Lisa, my eldest, was born that night. So all communications were cut, and
so you didn't know?
No, 2 days. And I suppose I should have rang in between, but she was a fraction early. But anyway, so I haven't been forgiven for that, of course. But no, I didn't know. And then the games got back on track, and then they finished it off by having a special function to sort of make up a little bit. They had this great big circus, and they invited just the chef de mission and I think it was 4 or 5 athletes from each country. That was it.
Well, they would have been top athletes, surely.
And they were, and it had to be a cyclist. So John Nicholson won a silver medal, Danny Clark had won a silver medal. Shane Gould, it was.
So Shane Gould was your swimmer?
Shane Gould was a swimmer, and it had to be one of the cyclists, or Clyde Sefton. There were 3 silver medalists. Anyway, next morning we woke up for this big function, and the manager came and said, "You've been picked." And I thought, why would he pick me? I've been in so much trouble with Judy Patching, who was the chief, and I knew straight away why. But my manager thought, oh, he must like a bit of a scoundrel or larrikin, and the others couldn't pick between them. But I'd been in that much trouble with him. My name came to him for the wrong reasons. So I remember walking down, get on this bus to go to the special function, and Raylene Boyle said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I've been picked." She said, "Bullshit." I said, "Well, I have." Okay. And so when Judy Patching came down, I sort of hid behind the concrete pillar, got on the bus, and we were halfway there, and he looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, you invited me, Judy." He went, "Well, behave yourself." So I managed to get to the big function.
Only in true Iffy style. Another great Iffy story.